Good morning, everyone. Deuteronomy 7:16 says, "And you shall consume all the people which the Lord your Devava your God shall deliver you. Your eye shall have no pity upon them, neither shall you serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto you." Now, the words "your eye shall have no pity upon them," it basically just amazes me how the children of God has time to tolerate that which the Lord your Devava has delivered them from. It takes obedience to what the Lord has said for us to be in covenant with the Lord and to receive His mercy. He has absolutely no obligation towards us in covenant when we do not obey Him. The only way that Yodevave the Lord will keep unto me the covenant is when I hearken to these judgments, number one. Number two, when I keep His judgments. And number three, when I do them. In Deuteronomy 6:4, we read, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. In English it says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one Lord. The Hebrew word Shema or Shema means hear, listen, and obey. So you can hear and listen, or you can listen and hear. But we also need to obey. Some people hear, but they don't listen, and some people listen, but they don't hear what is being said. And in both instances, we need to obey that which we listen to and which we hear. Many hear, but few listen because their hearts are far from Yodevave. Many people's obedience is nestled in their own lusts and desires, yet they expect the Lord to honor His side of the covenant while they play the harlot. If there are things in your life you need to overcome, you have to shema or shema. You need to listen, you need to hear, and you need to obey. Entertaining sin locks the door to overcoming. It locks the door to living a victorious life. It locks the door to the benefits of the covenant with Yodevave. And then the verse continues in saying, Neither shall you serve their gods, for that will be a snare to you. To the Israelites, God was talking about the literal idols worshipped by those living around them. We may not have literal idols in our homes, though some do, and in the times of ages that we live in, cell phones, internet, and TV has become the God of many. To others, their God has become their ministry, their work, their family, their friends, their money, or their possessions. Anything, that which I prioritize, that has become my God. If that thing or person takes up more time in my life than Yodevave, it, he, or she has become my God, and I have left my first love. He who made me in his image and likeness. Yodevave was the first one to lay eyes on me and you, and he says, I've loved you with an everlasting love. Isn't it time that we return to our first love? While he is still knocking, won't you open the door? Because if we linger and not open, then Song of Solomon 5 verse 6 says, I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself and was gone. My soul failed when he spoke. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. Romans 1 verse 30 Romans 1 verse 24 to 32 says, Therefore God gave them over to the lusts of their own hearts for uncleanness, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Verse 28 says, And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to the reprobate, dominated, disapproved mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, and unmerciful. Then verse 32 says, Who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Genesis 6 verse 3 and verse 5 says, And the Lord Yodevave said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120. Verse 5 says, And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Therefore, as Hebrews 3:15 says, As it has been said, Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as you did in the rebellion. But we need to hearken, we need to hear, we need to listen, and we need to obey. Because 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, there's something that we need to do. We need to humble. We need to pray. We need to seek the face of God, and we need to turn from our wicked ways. Then the Lord says, Then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. This is where salvation, healing, and deliverance begins for every person who is willing to hear, to listen, and to obey. Shalom.